should make your life worth living, bro.
He's scared from you. He's scared. That's why.
He's scared from me. He knows what's going to happen.
You can't say the truth, man. You're not good, Dad.
Sorry, what did you want to say? What's that? What did you say? Yeah, what did you say?
Bad, Dad. Thank you.
You're an even better son. What does he mean by that?
Oh, he's
What do you
against
mean
you.
by that?
I think I'm a better son. You're a
Oh,
stud.
I see.
You're a stud.
I mean, you mean your son as in your son? You have to father me. Yes. He feels the need to father me.
How many children he have?
How many children does he have?
Yeah.
He's only 15. Give him a chance. What's that?
5 years time.
What's that, young? Make sure I'm home by 8:30.
Can't breathe.
Okay.
He's dead. He's here.
Bye.
What would you think about him having kids?
The kids got scared.
Well, I've told my children that I'm going to write them out of their will if they have children. Well, because they have no excuse to have children. They know why they shouldn't have children.
Oh my God, that's very
Well,
bad.
don't you believe in free
Absolutely.
will, though?
That's the end of
No,
your
I
generation.
don't- Well, yes, of course I believe in free will. I'm not going to stop them. I'm not going to physically stop them. I can't. But
Freedom of
I
speech.
believe in free will. But I mean, if my children said that they were going to become murderers, then I would also write them. And I think bringing a child into existence makes you a murderer.
What about the abortion?
Because you're responsible for that.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Your parents are responsible for your death.
What do you,
We're not murderers.
what do you
Yeah, they are. They are responsible for his death.
That's why we
They're
are
murderers.
accused in manners.
Every cradle is a grave.
Sir, do you believe life after this?
He's trolling us, man. He's trolling us.
I am trolling you, but I'm also serious.
Do you believe in God?
What's that?
Do you believe in God?
Do I believe in God? I don't know what you even mean by that. What does that mean? What? A creator. If there is a creator, that creator
Should be
deserves
sued.
should be sued and tortured forevermore. Tortured forever for bringing this madhouse into existence. I mean, seriously, what kind of mad? Why are these people there bending down, worshipping the creator of this madness? Worshipping the creator of cancer, worshipping the creator of mental health problems, worshipping the creator of dementia, worshipping the creator of poverty, worshipping the creator of Boris Johnson. That's enough.
But we're the
That's enough
creators of this,
to be
though.
tortured for life, creating that monster, right? And all the monsters that tell him what to do. Why are people worshipping the creator? What an unbelievable...
I worship Lady Gaga.
Do you? Yeah. Exactly. Look at you.
Lady Baba.
Believe me, Lady Gaga has done a lot less bad shit in her life than the creator done. Okay, she does a bit of pervy stuff here and there, but look at what the creator is responsible for every child abuse that ever happened. He's responsible for it, or it's responsible for it. Why would people, I don't understand you people, I'm sure some of you pray. Why, you guys? You look religious. Why do you pray to the creator of child abuse? You.
That's
God.
incorrect.
It's a deep question, man.
You're listening. All right. Good answer.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
Do I believe in reincarnation? I don't know, but I damn well hope not. I don't want to come back and have to deal with people like you next time around.
Your life, you may be reincarnated.
Yes, I may, and I may not. Give me some evidence first,
may
and then
come
I'll
back as a
talk
decent
about
speaker.
reincarnation.
Can I ask you?
He just said you may come back as a decent speaker.
Are you a nihilist?
So what exactly do you promote? Okay, what do I promote? Yeah. I promote that you should get yourself a vasectomy as soon as possible, my friend.
Did you get one?
Why is that? So that you don't ruin several people's lives. A, the woman you sleep with, and B, the children you create.
Did you get one? Did you get one?
Did I get a vasectomy? I might have.
Are you a nihilist?
Am I a nihilist? I don't know what you mean exactly by a nihilist.
You don't
What do you
believe
mean by a
in
nihilist?
He means the Nile River.
Yeah, you believe in the River Nile?
no,
Does it exist?
no, no, no.
Do you feel like life there's absolutely no meaning and that
Okay. Am I a nihilist? Do I think there is no meaning?
not only is there no meaning, but do you feel like it's all like do you feel like there's no reason to be here and there's absolutely no life that you can live that would be worth it?
No, I don't believe that I do. Once you're here, there is definitely the life you can lead can definitely be worth it. So, for example, the way I make my life worth something is by A, supporting other people, right? Am I on drugs?
Which kind of support?
Aren't we all on drugs?
Which
I
kind
mean,
of support
anybody
is there?
here not had any drugs in the last 2 weeks?
I had cocaine on Friday.
You had cocaine on
Sorry,
Friday.
man.
Go on, anybody?
Cross.
Anybody? Right.
No, it's just it's the
Why are
London
you
drug of
asking that
choice.
question?
I think what his question was, do you believe in something?
Yeah, I'm saying,
He's a
right?
vegetarian.
I'm saying that
Vegan.
I no, but
Vegan-
he said,
it's
no, but he
veganism is
said-
an ism.
He explained that.
Is
So
there
I
any
think
life
that
worth
it's a
living?
wife. Well, okay. So
He's
I
an
differentiate
anti-natalist. Are you an
between
anti-natalist?
I differentiate between a life worth creating and a life worth living. Yeah, I don't think there's a life worth creating, or rather, because of the risks involved, I don't think it's right to create a life. But once you're here, I think that you can have a life worth living
you-
as long as
are
it
you
doesn't
anti-abortion?
involve bringing more people
Are you
into
pro-life?
existence.
Are you
We think
pro-life
that's
If
or
it
what
anti-
involves
against
bringing
that,
people into existence, then your life
Do you
is not
support
worth
abortion?
living,
Do you
and
support
you're better
abortion?
off never being born.
Do you support abortion?
Do I support abortion? Okay, so that's the next question that's come up. So now I just want to share with you that this is the most important part of my presentation, right? Because, number one, my ego has got me into a lot of trouble in my life, okay? But my ego is in operation most of the time, and also when I'm here, okay? And the way I deal with my ego is that I pause. I pause for 30 seconds to a minute, yeah? I do that regularly, and it's very good because what it does is, a lot of the people, I do this at home
You
as
didn't
well,
record me
right?
today, bro.
And I recommend
I gave
you
a
do
good
this in
speech
your
there,
life
you did
on a
not
regular
record me.
basis. This is the most important part of
I'm a
my
good speaker,
presentation
you like
because the
five.
chances of you
I had like 20
really
people
taking
listening
on
to
board
me,
what
man.
I'm saying and changing your mind is very low. But you could use this technique in your life. So I've been asked a question, and instead of coming back, which will be tainted by ego, I'm going to count to between 30 and 60 and respond to the question. I also like to invite you
Can I
to
heckle
have a
you in the
think.
meantime?
You can do what you
Can
like.
I heckle you in the
Right?
meantime?
I invite all of you
I like it when
to
you go
ask
to
yourselves
that,
the
to
question,
30 second, please, yeah.
what are your thoughts about abortion? Yeah?
Don't be
Ask yourself the question, ask yourself where your thoughts come from, and come to an
Count
idea
30
yourself.
Do you realize
and
how
I will-
long 30 seconds is? Do you know how long 30 seconds is?
So wait, can I
I like the patience. I like the time and the inclination for this.
where was he getting? What the hell was he getting? About meditation. Oh, okay. Are you Spanish?
He's
Oh, okay. What, like a year or like life?
so he put a hand down. Doing one of those silent, like,
You're having the
still-
best time ever listening to you.
What is that for, sir?
Mr. Speaker, it's time for your drugs.
Good. Let's have them. I need them today.
Do you have children, sir? You have
Smile.
children?
I've never been
he's
asked to
talking
smile
against
when I'm
children all the
talking about
time.
anti-nation. Smile. We can show our
can't
friends
get that all
that
the
some
time.
guy was. Right.
have children
So
and you don't want
oh, he's
nobody
gone.
else to have any?
By the way, I just want to tell you seriously. Honestly, seriously, if you take anything away from this, that technique is it's such an important technique in my life.
Where did
And
the
I
mic
can't
go?
do it more. You cannot do that too many times. It's really, really wonderful, right? So my response to the question was, what about abortion? Is the time has come, in my opinion, and I didn't know about this till long after my children were born, to think about it from the child's point of view. Yeah, I'm not telling. It doesn't matter what. Does it matter what I believe about abortion? I don't. You know, I'm not intending to put a woman in a position where she has to have an abortion. Clearly, the idea of abortion is not an ideal thing to do, and that's why I'm saying real men stay hard, so that they don't have to get into a position where a woman needs to have an abortion, right? Real men understand that it's not worth that extra little few seconds of pleasure, yeah, to create a whole life of problems for somebody else, right? So therefore, you know, the first thing is that abortion is you know, it's a problematic thing, it's a traumatic thing for many women, right? But if someone was to approach me and they said they were pregnant, I would say, well, why don't you think about it from the child's point of view, right? And not just from your point of view. What about the child? What kind of world is the child going to be in, right? And when the child, and when this fetus is like 12 days old, yeah? Is it even sentient? Yeah, that's what I would say. I would encourage questioning, deep questioning. I would say to the person, are you in a financial position to bring this person into existence?
Yeah.
Are you in a mental position, a psychological position?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the answer to that question is, no, you're not. Because if you are in a psychological position that you have got what it takes to be a good parent, which is unbelievably difficult, the most challenging thing could ever happen to you, a 24/7 job, 24/7 for the rest of your life. If you are that person, yeah, then there's one person that you need to parent first, and that is yourself. Parent yourself and try and deal with all the problems and all the mistakes that your parents made. And they did, because that's just how it is. Yeah, parenting is basically damage limitation. It should never happen in the first place, because no parent's really ready. They don't know, because society doesn't fucking tell you. Your parents, I don't understand my parents. I know I experienced my childhood.
That's why
but I
the
was a
religion
child.
is.
I had no idea what it was like for my parents. Yeah?
therapy,
They
or
really
just
struggled. They
speaking
sent
corner,
me to
man?
boarding school when I was
therapy
10,
session.
right? Because I was so difficult, right? So they had a real, but they never said to me when I got married, you know, by the way, you know, this is really difficult. I think about it first. They never said to my brother, who's religious, because they're religious, who's gone and had 5 children. 5 children. They never said to him, it's going to cost you, a couple of million. And then if things go wrong, you need a bit extra, and your wife might leave you, and the kid could be,
Why are you so
could be
negative?
unwell.
Why are you so
right?
negative?
Now, look, the answer about
You're always focusing on the bad stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many good things about having kids, being alive, and you're so focused on the bad stuff. Your life is full of so many different good and bad
ladies and
things, and you
gentlemen,
only
I
focus on the bad
practice
things.
I practice the contradiction as best I can of profound appreciation for what I have and the luck, the unbelievable luck that I have, right? The luck that my children are basically smart and okay, generally fairly well, although they have their struggles with anxiety, which everyone has nowadays, especially with social media, right? And at the same time, I'm radically appreciative of what I have, but I'm also radically pessimistic and realistic about the suffering that goes on in the world, in other people's lives, and the suffering that goes on in the people's lives that made all your clothes, while you go on your fancy, oh, that nice, look at that lovely view. Yeah, but what about all the poor fuckers who had to work all day to make your phone? What about the poor fuckers that had to work in the field for shit money to pick your mangoes?
Have to do that.
Right?
didn't
What do
have
you mean
to do
they
that.
didn't have to do it? They did,
They did
because
that
they
because
wouldn't
our
survive.
system enslaved them.
They did, yeah, our system enslaved them.
This is why
and your parents
you were
brought
trained-
you into this system knowing what it was.
you were-
And you're telling me that you would bring someone into existence because I'm being negative.
How do you know
yeah,
this was
I'm being so
ethically sourced?
negative.
How do you know none of this was ethically
I'm
sourced?
ethically sourced.
You're making
Yeah,
assumptions.
give me a break.
You're being
Okay.
ad hominem, ad
Was
hominem.
it ethically
It's not the
sourced?
point, it might have
What do you
been.
mean it's not the point? Yes, it is
You know-
the fucking
you know the
point. It
number of-
wasn't ethically sourced,
You know
was
there's
it?
a growing market
Anyway,
for
how-
ethical consumerism.
Oh yes, ethical consumerism. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's a growing
That's
market
like,
among young people.
That's like there's a demand for ethical prostitution.
Fine, yeah, there is.
is.
Maybe prostitution would be
Yeah,
legalized,
right.
and then it'd be a safer
Yeah,
practice.
so ethical,
Fine,
isn't it?
that's a
Yeah,
debate to
so
have.
ethical.
Are you against legalizing prostitution like they did in
No,
Germany?
I'm not against legalizing prostitution. I just think that prostitution is extremely problematic, and I think that your argument about ethical business, ethical consumption, is a misnomer because, because the whole idea of consumption is a load of old rubbish. Right, and everything,
have to consume
and
to
all
live.
the materials,
I have to consume
all the
to buy
material-
and have
In order
goods.
for that to be ethical, it would firstly have to come locally, and then it would have to be, people would have to be paid really well to get all the stuff out of the ground, all the people involved, all the machinery involved, all the software and the hardware. Don't be stupid.
So you're anti-capitalist? Are you anti-capitalist? Are you
Of course
anti-capitalist?
I'm disgusted by capitalism. It's disgusting, horrible,
All right, I
sick,
respect that. I
evil
respect that.
motherfucker of a system. I hate it. It's disgusting.
So what do you want
Business
instead?
is vile.
What do you want instead?
Vile.
What do you want
And
instead?
I've been in business. It's vile. It's disgusting. It's exploitation. It's exploitation. It's the most horrible, pathetic, horrible thing. And these fuckers, these rich fuckers, they're cunts. A lot of them.
Do you want socialism instead?
Do I want socialism? No, I just want to say stop bringing people into the problem and making more problems. That's it. The solution is for you to have a vasectomy. That's it. That's all you need to do. It's wonderful.
But then who's going to
Let's
look
have
after
a
all the old
vasectomy.
people?
And you'll save yourself a lot of money. You'll save all the women you sleep with. Listen, I'll tell you what. Are there any gay men here?
Yes.
Anyone who's prepared to admit they're a gay man or a gay woman?
It was involuntary.
And you know gay people here? Come on. God, you must be gay.
The only man here with his
Surely
wife.
You must have come out by now, sure. This is made order. Okay, but one of the things I like to do when I go to Soho, I know it's a bit strange, but it's a lot of fun, right? I recommend it. I go up to gay people, honestly, I go up to gay people and so I said, do you know what? I want to do a little exercise, a mind game with you, a thought experiment. I want you to go through your whole sexual history, yeah? And imagine a couple of your boyfriends or girlfriends, yeah, got pregnant accidentally one night when you've gone out drinking, yeah? Imagine how that would have changed your life, how much more difficult that would have made your life. And yeah, imagine that, right?
Not all people are conceived that way, though. That's the
I
thing.
know a lot of people are conceived that way, and that's terrible. And a lot of people are conceived that way. In fact, in many countries, many people are conceived by rape, which is even worse, of course, right?
Yeah, but that's you're saying that conceiving children in that way is bad. You can't generalize that to everyone's existence.
No, I understand that you can't, but that's just another aspect of it. It's another aspect, and it's a scam. It's because people fall for the scam of sex. They're not told the truth about sex. You need to learn the science of sex. People don't know the basic science.
Oxytocin.
There are two, yeah, oxytocin, yes, that's part of the science. And what that does, but it's not just the oxytocin, it's the concoction of drugs. There's 4 drugs, I can't remember the names of them, but it's oxytocin and dopamine, there's 2 others. These drugs cut off the reasoning part of your brain.
It's great though.
Yeah,
Can't be
it's
reasoning all the
deliberately, and that is a deliberate scam and trick to get you to reproduce. Your DNA is working against you. You need to realize that your enemy is within. Your enemy is your own DNA. Your own DNA, which is plotting all the time, plotting to get you, plotting all the time to get you to reproduce. And even when
What
you're
if you've
not
had a
reproducing,
vasectomy?
even this, what I'm doing now,
What if you've had a
this
vasectomy?
can be related back to me kind of saying, oh, I'm up here, I'm a nice alpha man, have a child with me. I mean, I'm not actually doing that, but you have to understand that's what's going on subconsciously.
Who's going to look
because
after all the old
DNA is
people?
running
There's
the
no young
show.
people.
It's a horrible, twisted
Who's going to
piece
look
of
after
code.
all the old people?
It's a virus
There's
and
no
a
young
parasite,
people.
yeah? Because it will get
Japanese
hold of
old
you
people.
and use your body to get it to replicate itself, regardless of whether you are
Who's gonna
smart
bring-
or sick,
Who's gonna
regardless
look
of
after
whether you
old
are
people?
good looking or not that good looking, regardless of whether you are mentally well or not so mentally well.
So hypothetically,
Who's going to look after the old people if there's no young
Who's
people?
going to look after the old people?
Thank you,
A
Mr.
lovely
Speaker.
classic question. Number 1, robots these days. Number 2, that just shows you that the whole of life is a fucking Ponzi scheme, right? Bringing in the next lot to look after the parents. Fuck off! Why should I look after my parents? Because they wanted to have a nice time
You have
one
empathy.
evening.
You
Fuck
have-
them.
You have empathy for them.
No, I do. I walk my dad, he's 82. I walk him every day. He's really slow around the park. Drives me a bit nuts.
Sounds like a hassle.
We don't have much to
Maybe you
talk
should just
about,
kill
right?
him.
But I walk my
Maybe you
dad
should
every
push
day.
him down
I
the
do
stairs.
that.
Why don't you just push him down the
I do
stairs?
that as an act of service.
Why don't you push him
But
down the stairs?
Why don't I push him down the stairs? Because he
human
didn't.
life.
I'll tell you why.
Get rid of more human
I'll tell you why. It's a good question, right? Because I'll probably lose. Firstly, I'll get put in prison, and I will also.
That's the only reason.
I'll also lose my
That's the only
inheritance.
reason.
Yeah?
You'll lose
No.
your
The reason is because I don't have any resentment towards him because he didn't know what he was doing. He was at the behest of DNA like I was with my
Were
children.
you an accident?
But we were all accidents. We're all accidents.
I was
We're all
planned.
mistakes.
My younger
No,
sister,
you
no.
weren't planned.
I was planned, though.
I tell you, you were not planned.
I was.
No, not in the way that normal people. For example, you were planned in the same
My
way
dad
as if
waits-
I was to go. This is how well you were planned. It's like me going into an estate agent and saying, "Oh, what house would you like? Oh, I'll have that one. Oh, that's 2 million. All right, yeah, I'll have that one. How are you going to pay for it? I don't know. well, you'll pay for it somehow. Your parents did not think it through properly. They did not think it through all the way. They probably didn't even think it through past your toddlerhood. They didn't think to themselves, I wonder whether we'll like him when he's 12 and got zits and hates us, right? I wonder what we'll do if he ends up being suicidal, right? I wonder what will happen if he doesn't like the idea of going to work every day. Yeah, they didn't think about that. No, they didn't. They just had your dad was having a
why do
lovely
anything
time.
in life?
He lost control, and then
So,
your
Mr.
mum a few
Speaker,
weeks later
why do-
said, "Oh yeah, we're planning it." They kind of talked about it. They didn't really think it
Mr.
through.
Speaker,
Let's
why-
call them now.
why do anything?
Let's call them now. Ask them why they had you. Come on, let's call them.
Because they were Catholic. I know the answer. Because they were Catholic.
Because they were Catholic.
And they wanted to have more Catholics.
Call him.
Right, exactly. Look,
my mum
he
hates
knows
this
the
place.
answer.
My mum told me this is a open-air mental
him.
asylum without any doctors, so it's even worse than a mental asylum.
Call him.
This place.
Call him.
No, he knows.
So
He's
why-
already told us.
Are you against suicide?
He told us.
Are you
one
against
second,
suicide?
one second. He told us.
Why do
that his
anything in
parents
life
had
if you
him
think it's all going to go
because
wrong?
they wanted to have more Catholics in the world.
Why do anything
How
in life?
fucked up is
It
that?
fucked up.
I'm-
But why do anything in life? Because anything could go wrong in life.
What's that?
Why do anything in life? You got up to speak today to these lovely people. It could have gone horribly wrong. Someone might have pushed you off the ladder.
Okay.
But you
So now
still
we've
got
got
up to
next
speak.
question.
Now you got up to speak.
Now we
go, please. Please don't go. You're like the only.
Okay, I'll come back to your question because
Alright,
you
no
have asked
problem.
quite a few questions. Yeah, go on.
Do you think the bigger picture?
And she's better looking than you.
Fair enough.
Oh,
It's not a bad thing that he said.
I mean, I wouldn't think the same about. I mean, I wouldn't think the same if it wasn't for capitalism. I mean, otherwise, my thinking would be very different. But even without capitalism, yeah, you've still got cancer and heart disease and illnesses and accidents. And it's just there's no reason to do it. There's no reason to take a risk when there are millions of children who desperately need everybody's help. There are children that need adopting. There are children that need fostering. There are children. Here's one for you. That's not even so extreme. This one really makes sense. If there was a change in the way we thought, how about if people wanted to be a parent? How about if you're a man, for example, and you want to be a parent? How about instead of taking the risk so that you can continue your line, whatever that is, yeah, you sort out a woman who already had a child or 2 children, yeah, as a goal to help her look after them. Maybe she got divorced or maybe her husband died, yeah. Why not do that instead?
That's responsible, man.
Yeah.
That's responsible. Yeah. Or adopt a child from a.
Yeah, adopt a
No.
child.
Warzone or
I mean,
something.
God, anywhere.
Yeah.
I agree with
Adopt a
that.
child, or if you don't think you're able to do that, you know, for example, I've got a friend who's my age, and he never got married, don't have children, and he has time on his hands, and he's quite, you know, and he's got money left over because he doesn't have to spend it on children, right? And he's created a charity. He's created a charity with that time. Yeah?
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. His charity is to help children who have learning difficulties.